Hi guys, what's up? Triple G here with the beginner's guide to farming. What I've seen over the last few weeks is there's quite a few guys popping up on Reddit asking for strategies, asking for what it is in the game that they should be doing once they've completed the story, or once they've got to kind of their first playthrough. You know, should they carry on and maybe trying to get to level 50 through farming, or should they go through a second playthrough? So what I'm aiming to do here is to go through some of the things that you might not know as an average beginning player, some of the areas that you might want to go to once you get to level 50, and some of the myths that seem to be floating around Reddit. So first things first, obviously you can play through Borderlands twice, but farming has been a big part of Borderlands for a long time, ever since the first Borderlands came out. And essentially farming is killing the same person over and over and over again until he drops a desired item that you want. So in this particular Borderlands there are items that can drop from many different bosses, and there are items that can drop from a specific boss. Now, I'm not going to go into dedicated loot per boss at this moment in time, but there are videos out there that go through those. But the point here is that you will get some bosses that no matter how much you kill them, you will only have a very, very slim chance at getting the weapon that you want. And that weapon's percentage is set by the boss itself. So, as you played through Borderlands, or you're about to play through Borderlands, you will get bosses. Bosses will be strong and weak against certain elements, so you will have to work that out as you go. Certain bosses will be quicker to farm than others, depending on the build and the character that you've selected. So it is going to be down to personal preference on how fast and which ones that you're going to choose to do. But once you've got that locked down, essentially what you'll be doing is you'll be killing a boss, you'll be saving, quitting, loading back up and killing him again and again and again until you get the desired thing. Now that sounds pretty easy, but actually once you take into account that you might not only just want a class mod, you might want a class mod with certain attributes, you all of a sudden then have got, let's for argument's sake, a 3% chance to get an item, and then on top of that you have then got a split percentage of them rolling the right perks. Add on top of that that potentially you may want that item anointed as well, and all of a sudden you have a very, very small chance of getting exactly what you want from said bosses. So the myth that I want to bust here really is that it is not going to be easy. There are some incredibly lucky people, and you will see things on Reddit that say, I've just pulled this out of a rubbish pile, or I've just opened this from a crate. And yes, that does happen, and streamers do seem to have all the god rolls, but that does not mean that they have either acquired it easily. So particularly some of the supported streamers, they could have had items donated to them so they could help their build videos, or particularly if they're on PC, there's a lot of save files that people can get sent around, and they can produce videos on builds just from those save files. So don't be fooled in thinking that it is easy. However, whilst it isn't easy, if you are a kind of gamer that likes to sit back and relax a little bit and just kind of chat away with your mates or whatever while playing a game that you enjoy, there's nothing better than sitting there and absolutely deleting a boss that you previously struggled to kill, and you absolutely wipe the floor. None more so, in my opinion, than the Agonizer, because I struggled in particular through my first playthrough trying to kill that boss with my friends, and now it is easily one of the fastest kills in Mayhem 4 on the game, and it happens to have one of the best loot pools out there, and also drops a lot of legendary loot at the same time. So it can be very rewarding if you put the time and effort in. And there are plenty of YouTube strategies on what it is that you should be doing on each boss. And by now I'm going to assume that you know that certain elements of weapons are strong against other parts of the enemies, i.e. corrosive weapons are good against armor. So that's kind of it for a summary of farming. But just to touch on, there are some weapons that you will see players using at the moment, i.e. the redistributor, which is sought after by pretty much anyone who's on Reddit at the moment. That particular weapon you will not get from bosses within the normal game. That is in the Malawan Takedown. And if you want a video on how to get the redistributor, I will leave a link in the comments. As always, if you've enjoyed this guide, please subscribe. It means a hell of a lot to me to try and get this channel going, and of course it doesn't cost you anything to do so. If you would like to, please follow me on Twitter, and I will be streaming in the future, so if that's your thing, please follow me below. Thank you. Catch you on the flip.